Hi, my name is Amber Samanek, and today I will be talking about what exactly the Mediterranean diet is, some research that has been done on the positive impacts of the diet, an app that was also created for those interested in following it, and much more. I chose to do my research on the Mediterranean diet because I have a passion for nutrition. I am always open to trying new things and want to incorporate new foods into my diet, and want to help others achieve their goals through what they eat because that is ultimately the most important part when making healthy lifestyle changes. I found out many interesting facts while doing the debate and wanted to learn more. The Mediterranean diet is a very diverse food regimen. There is a strong emphasis on fruits and vegetables. Nutritionists recommend about 7 to 10 servings a day. This diet also includes whole grains, especially bread, and legumes. It also heavily focuses on healthy fats such as monosaturated fat from olive oil that they use to cook and dip their bread in, and polyunsaturated fat because of the importance of omega-3 fatty acids that come from certain fish and shellfish. This diet recommends consuming poultry and red meat in moderation. There is also a social component that comes with this diet as well. It is highly encouraged to share meals with friends and family as often as possible. Don't be afraid to have a glass or two of wine in moderation as long as you are of age. Obviously, drink plenty of water and stay physically active as well, whether it is going on a bike ride or taking a nice stroll around town in order to keep the body functioning properly. This is a diagram of the original Mediterranean diet food pyramid. Physical activity and the social aspect of this diet is at the bottom. Right above it contains all the plant-based foods such as beans, herbs and spices, grains, nuts, and others. Fish and seafood come next because that is where the majority of the animal-based protein is recommended to come from. Low-fat dairy products come next along with eggs and poultry. Meats and sweets are at the top because although they are accepted in the diet, these are foods that should not be consumed consistently in large amounts. While doing research, I came across a documentary that was called Mediterranean Diet, Our Legacy, Our Future, and it was done by Elena Paravantes, who is a natural-born Greek that studied to become a nutritionist. Through her studies, she learned that the best diet was one that was low in fat. It had been proven to help with chronic disease, weight loss, and many other health problems. Her main purpose in becoming a nutritionist was to spread the awareness about the authenticity of the Mediterranean diet. I learned that it originated in Crete, Greece, but it is rarely ever credited. Americans have a watered-down version of what it truly is and incorporated other French and Italian foods and generalized the origin. Greeks today don't really follow the diet as much as we would think. They eat a lot of meat and packaged, pre-processed foods, which has been proven to lead to obesity, heart disease, and cancer. Studies have shown that 1 out of 3 Greeks are obese. She focused on 3 main studies of the Mediterranean diet to help support her awareness. The first one happened in Crete when the government asked the Rockefeller Foundation to do a study on its people because they were worried about the poverty and living styles of the Cretans. They also ate a lot of wild greens, wine, olive oil, and little meat due to little money. This met the American diet standards, so they didn't really see a problem. The second one was a study done by Ansel Keys, who saw that the Mediterranean people that consumed lots of olive oil had lower rates of heart disease. This was called the 7 countries study, and it was done specifically on Cretan men because heart disease is more prevalent in men than it is in women. He found that none had heart disease and that 40% of their calories in their diets came from fats. The third study showed the origin of the Mediterranean diet pyramid, which was made by old ways. People from these studies would often define the diet as one of the Cretan men in the 1960s, but by today's standards, people would define it differently. Her goal is to spread awareness of the benefits of the true Mediterranean diet and credit where it truly came from. Through my research, I came across an app called the Mediterranean Diet Plan, a low-carb diet. There are many great features that come along with this app. On the homepage, there are many different tabs to choose from. One of the tabs shows the many health benefits that have come along with following the diet and the diseases that it has positively impacted. Some of these conditions include reducing the chance of developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, and many others. It gives a general overview of what the diet looks like and even includes what the foods that you should be eating and ones that you should avoid. It provides a sample of a weekly menu that consists of meals and healthy snacks and treats that you can eat. There are various recipes that abide by the Mediterranean diet for meals at any time of the day. For people who are interested in getting started, there's even a grocery list that you can take with you the next time you go to the supermarket. There are lots of pictures that display how delicious the meals really are. Here are some screenshots from the actual app itself. The first one displays the home page and all the different tabs that you can click on. The second one is a sample recipe of a Mediterranean diet dish. And the third one is a week at a glance of some sample foods that you could eat throughout the week that are Mediterranean diet friendly. This was a study done on non-alcoholics that suffer from fatty liver disease. The scientists wanted to test the correlation between diet change and fatty liver change. There were 1,521 participants in this study, and each had to fill out a food frequency questionnaire of 126 different foods to determine the dietary intake of the year prior to the examination. They assessed the Mediterranean Diet Score and the Alternative Healthy Eating Index Diet Score with changes in fatty liver and new onset fatty liver. What the researchers found by using these two scores was that the subjects ended up decreasing their levels of liver fat accumulation. With both of the two scores tested, there was also a reduced risk of incident fatty liver. The graph featured on this slide shows the predictions of the probability of the incidence of fatty liver based on the Mediterranean Diet Score and the Alternative Healthy Eating Index Score. Those who followed a healthier eating pattern also lowered the risk of genetic predisposition to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. People who follow a healthy diet change, such as the Mediterranean diet, lost weight and lowered their risk of cardiovascular disease and decreased their risk of death. The researchers in this study wanted to see the correlation between the Dietary Inflammation Index and the Mediterranean Diet Score with total cardiovascular disease and coronary heart disease mortality. 41,513 men and women, age ranging from 40 to 69 years old, took part in this study, and they too also had to fill out a food frequency questionnaire, and other external information was gathered. What the study found was that the Mediterranean diet led to lower cardiovascular disease and coronary heart disease mortality. The higher the consumption of the food groups in the Mediterranean diet led to a lower dietary inflammation index. The table displayed on this slide shows a comparison of the Mediterranean Diet Score and the Dietary Inflammation Index and how each impacted certain regions of Europe and its effects on all-cause mortality, cardiovascular mortality, and coronary heart disease mortality. In most cases, the Mediterranean diet was the better option. There was also an improvement in blood pressure, insulin sensitivity, lipid profile, and inflammatory biomarkers after following the Mediterranean diet for 3 months. The Mediterranean diet contains foods that lead to lower inflammation in the body. The Mediterranean diet overall is a very well-rounded diet and includes many of the food groups, so you really don't have to cut out any of your macros. For this reason, it is very easy to follow and easy to stick with. The key component to this diet, however, is moderation. Many studies have shown the positive benefits that this diet holds as long as people follow it appropriately. With the awareness of the benefits of this diet, the health world can be changed. The rates of many diseases would be lowered. It is our job as health and wellness promoters to spread the word and imperativeness of a healthy lifestyle. Many people's lives would change for the better. I know after doing research on this diet, I'm going to incorporate some of these foods into my own life and encourage others to do the same. For further information, here are the articles that I did my research on, as well as a link to the TED Talk that I watched. Thank you guys for watching.